Hello and welcome to Chris News. Tonight there will be a dance sponsored by the boys basketball team. Be sure to bring $5 for admission and extra for Chrissy concessions. The times are 6 to 8 like usual. Now we go to Chris for some sports. Our Eagles football team crushed the Portland East Panthers in a scrimmage last week. The final score was 77-7 with Corbin Kemp scoring 4 out of 11 touchdowns. Good job. Sadly, our middle school Lady Eagles softball team season ended. We would like to recognize the 8th graders, those being Jana Eckel, Allie Gregory, Michaela Hudsman, and Brooke Metter. And our middle school boys baseball team season has ended too. The 8th graders were Colby Sullivan, Jake Smith, Peyton Donahoe, Garrett Kirk, Jacob Wheatley, Quentin Crawford, Easton Crump, Isaac Williams, and Dylan Leith. Our boys and girls basketball team started training and practice this week. They will be having scrimmages and camps coming up in late May and June. Chris says you must practice hard. Now to Chris for more news. Thanks, Chris, for those tasty sports. Now Chris will talk about library news. Thanks, Chris. Any library fines will need to be paid in order to participate in fun events. Chris knows if you have fines. A play called Brigadoon will be performed at the high school on Tuesday, and some of our students, including Chris, will be there. Now back to Chris. Thanks, Chris. We now go to Chris for Tricky Trivia. Thanks, Chris. Last week's questions were, can you name 3 consecutive days without using Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday? Your answer is yesterday, today, and tomorrow. A woman shot her husband, held him underwater for 5 minutes, and hung him, but they went to dinner that night. How is this possible? The answer is she was a photographer. She first shot a picture of the husband, then developed the picture in water, and lastly, she hung it up to dry. This week's questions are: Number 1, what is light as a feather, but even the strongest man can't hold it more than a few minutes? Number 2, what goes up and down, but stays in the same place? Give those some thought. Now back to Chris and the news. Okay. Thanks, Chris. Next week will be School Nutrition Employee Week. Thank them for their service or Chris will hunt you down. By the way, that is me, if you didn't already notice. Thanks for the intro, Chris. I have some great dates for you, Chris. On May 2nd, 1519, Leonardo da Vinci, the famous Renaissance scientist, dies at age 67. So sad. Also on May 2nd, Chris, France and Spain agree to donate arms to American rebels. Isn't that cool, Chris? Finally, on May 3rd, 1494, Jamaica was discovered by Christopher Columbus. Chris, I didn't know you were alive in 1494. What was it like, Chris? Well, it was a time unlike any other, you see. I was looking for India and wound up in Jamaica, you see. Talk about a wrong turn, huh? Now that we have looked back at Chris history, we go back to Chris for more Chris news. Stay. Thanks, Chris. Our 6th grade students and teachers will be going to the tattoo program on Monday in Hendersonville. Chris wants you guys to have fun. Now to birthdays for May 15th through the 30th. Talk about awkward silence, huh? Okay. Our 6th graders celebrating include Isabella Johnson, Calista Johnson, Catherine Wiley, and Cole Keith. 7th graders include Dylan Midget, Gavin Whitaker, Megan Haskins, Lena Cothran, Isaac Wasner, Jacob Hodges, and Ethan McMurtry. 8th graders include Jalen Hughes, Matt Smith, Clay Cothran, Kara Satterfield, Will Lee, and Erica Wicks. We have 3 faculty birthdays this week, and they are Miss Goad, Miss Benita Williams, and Miss Sherry. Chris wishes you a happy birthday. Next Wednesday is Nurse Appreciation Day, so be sure to tell our school nurses thanks. Because I know I'm going to do that, and None of you can stop me. Anyways, our junior beta members are going on a field trip to Circus World next Wednesday. Chris loves Circus World. I do, Chris. Now to Chris with strangest places. Hey, Christopher Columbus, do you smell that? Well, I don't smell anything, Chris. What is it? Sure am. Okay then, well, let's start. The Monsell Sea forts in the North Sea around England were built to protect England from Nazi invasions during World War II. Today they are abandoned with only ghosts, vandals, and seabirds. Well, the forts are approximately 30 feet tall and 78 feet wide. The forts are open to the public on special occasions. The forts were decommissioned during the 50s, but were built during the 40s. The materials found in the forts are metals and concretes. Sounds very boring, wouldn't you say, Chris? Because, you know, I was there. Now to Christopher Columbus for his stuffs. Why, thanks, Chris. Get out of here. No one likes you. Next Thursday, the DJ party is going to be held for anyone who sold 5 or more items in the spring fundraiser. Hey, Chris, are you going? Yep, sure am. What about you, Chris? Nope. Also on Thursday, the academic team will have a banquet at 6 p.m. Have fun, academic team. Now to Chris with weather. I hate these seats. Thanks, Chris. Today will be partly cloudy with a high of 76 and a low of 51. There will be a 0% chance of rain. Chris calls that nice. Chris, guess what? Saturday will be sunny with a high of 86 and a low of 58. Just like yesterday, there will be a 0% chance of rain. Hey, Chris, what is Sunday looking like? Well, I'm so glad you asked, Chris. I love talking to myself sometimes. Let me tell you, Sunday is going to be nice. It will be partly cloudy with a high of 86 and a low of 56. There will be a small 20% chance of rain. That's some great weather, Chris. Thank you, Chris. People, please tell me how to house train these seats. Students, remember, May 10th is the last day for lunch charges. Before we sign off for this week, Chris has a special message he would like to share with all of you out there. So listen up. These T&Ready people cannot make a test. Yeah! The only work they've done is this. See that? The only answer is A. So they cannot get it wrong. We want them to get it wrong. Yeah! And because of this, I decided to take matters in my own hands and call this new testing group Chris Ready. Yeah! So, Chris Ready brings one part with the whole day to be working on it. So if you finish, you get the rest of the day off. Yeah! If you take the test, you will receive $100, a free KFC dinner with a sales tax of $99, and my grandmother. Yeah! So get those tests done and make me president because Trump and Hillary are not very good. Yeah! Sir, why are you back here? Get out of here. No one likes your kind. I can't wait to take this Chris Ready testing. It's going to be awesome. That's all for this week on Chris News. Remember to stay crispy, classy, Westmoreland.